Hello, 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 and welcome or welcome back. And in this episode, we are going to talk about part one from the Tell All, season 17, Sister Wives. Okay, listen, before we get into the Tell All, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and commenting on the videos. Thank you for subscribing. I am so grateful. I'm so full of gratitude. Thank you so much to everybody who's been supporting the channel and our growing community. I'm so excited for what's to come. And because I'm so excited, listen, I'm going to do a giveaway. So let us get to 200 subscribers. Let's get to 200 subscribers. And I'm going to give away one of my journals. This one is obviously blank. I'm not going to show y'all the one that I write in. But this is one of my gratitude journals. I use this because I think gratitude is awesome. It helps you to stay grounded. It helps you to really live intentionally. It helps you to manifest your desires. And so, listen, we haven't talked about this much yet on this channel, but I'm definitely a woo woo girl, okay? And I love to blend the woo with evidence based practices as well. So I am all for practicing gratitude. In fact, I have a tween niece, which, come on, nobody told me. People talk about that whole teenage stage. Folk didn't tell me about this tween stage now. Ooh, y'all help me. I think I need a support group. But my niece, I have her, I've been working with her to practice gratitude and practice reciting her affirmations. You know, this is the stage where you kind of go through, you have issues maybe with confidence or issues with your peers, and you're really learning about this social development and peer relationships. And so, you know, she's been having a hard time, and we've been doing affirmations and gratitude, and we've been practicing meditation. These are things that I taught her early on when she was much younger, and I think now she's starting to fully realize and understand the power behind some of the exercises that we do together. And so she also has her journal that she uses, and so this is great for adults and teens and tweens. Listen, nobody told me. But anyway, I'm giving one of these journals away when we reach 200 subscribers, and I'll put all the information in a post so that you're aware of the giveaway once we reach the 200 subscribers. And yeah, I'm excited. The interior of this journal is pink. It's pink and white. And so down the line I might do different colors for the interior, but nonetheless it's great. So it's 21 days of gratitude so that you can practice gratitude for 21 days consistently. But there are more pages in here so you can continue to practice after the 21 days. This is one of my favorite things, hence why I created it, because I use it. And I want to give this away to one of you for supporting. So thank you so much. As I said before, let us get to 200 subscribers, and I'm going to gift a journal to one of you. So come on, 21 days of gratitude. Let us get to 200. Okay. So now, thank you. And now that that is out of the way, let's talk about the tell all. What did you think? What did you think of the tell all? I'm going to be honest, I wasn't that entertained by it. I wasn't. I wasn't. It just, I feel like I'm always saying, I want more, but I did. I think what we saw in this first part, we have already been talking about all season. Nothing was really a revelation. You know what I mean? Now, what I'm interested in is Janelle. I want to hear more from Janelle. I want to hear more about what her perspective is regarding her relationship with Kody and regarding Kody's relationship with his other wives. I want to hear what Janelle is up to. Like, I really am curious about her perspective. Regarding Meri, I feel like it was what we expected. I made a video recently talking about Meri, and she and Kody are divorced from one another. And so that didn't come as a surprise when we saw it in the tell all. And I will link that video to this video so that you can watch it if you haven't. But I don't feel like we really got more. This was kind it felt very much like a recap, and that's how they started the show. They started the tell all part 1 with a flashback from earlier seasons, and then with clips from this past season. And that's what this felt like, which obviously because it's a tell all, but as I said before, I wanted more. So something that jumped out at me, which again is not a surprise. So I don't know if it really jumped out, but I guess it stood out to me. Sir Kody. Sir Kody said, and there are a few things we're going to talk about regarding Sir Kody. He said the reason that he's not attracted to Christine is because, and I'm looking down because I'm looking at my notes, but he said the reason he's not attracted to Christine is because she's not loyal and he felt betrayed.
You're blaming me for me being turned off by your behavior.
The reason I'm not attracted is because she's not being loyal. It feels like because I feel betrayed.
He said that Christine was a game player, that Christine was manipulative, and that he felt betrayed by her. And I keep going back to, well, tell us specifically how she's a game player. Tell us specifically how she tried to manipulate you. Give us some examples.
Did you think she was playing a game?
Because she's a game player.
Help me understand that.
From the time we were married, manipulation, pouting, temper tantrums. I mean, just behavior things.
I need you to help me understand that. Was Christine playing you and playing the game? Because it seems very, very cold. Like a cold thing to say, not something that a husband would say to his wife.
Some of the games that were happening were things like when we moved to Flagstaff, Arizona, I was trying to reconcile with Meri. I'm in this place expressing to Janelle, Christine, and Robyn that I might reconcile with Meri. And Christine lost her that day. She comes to a family party and leaves, yelling to one of the kids that she was in a loveless marriage.
As the viewer, I feel a little bit lost. I feel like there's something I'm missing regarding what he's saying about Christine. He said that he was open to reconciling with Meri at one point, but Christine shut it down. Sir, you keep talking about being the head of your family and that these women signed up for patriarchy. This is what he said, that these women signed up for patriarchy, and they said they decided when they joined the family that they would, what did he say, lend their will to his or something like that. And Suki, the host, she's like, well, what exactly does that mean? He doesn't really say what it means. He just repeats himself. So what is it that you were looking for when you decided to have a plural marriage, when you decided that polygamy was what you wanted? Because according to his faith, according to Kody and his faith, this is something that God has ordained, right? And so when you went into this, what were your expectations, Kody? And what do you mean that these people are lending their will or giving their will over to you? What exactly does that mean for you? Because I feel like there's a disconnect here. But anyway, he says that Christine shut it down when he wanted to reconcile with Meri. He says he told his three best friends, he told Janelle, Christine, and Robyn that he was thinking of reconciling with Meri after Meri made him some Rice Krispie treats for every year that they were together. And it was just, the right moment, the right timing. And he felt that he had gotten to a point where he wasn't so angry with her and he had thoughts of reconciling.
It wasn't what it was. It was that I was no longer angry with her for what I had gone through in my life with her. I was willing to see the error of my ways and then work to determine whether we were good with each other anymore.
He said he told Christine and she had a fit, and so he didn't move forward with it.
Wow.
And so my other three best friends, I expressed that to, baby,
It's okay.
Meri and I can work it out maybe. You know, I mean, like I'm going like that with these three women and it just rattles Christine.
But sir, again, if you are the head of your household, which what does that exactly mean for you and for your household? What does that mean? What does that look like in your mind, and what do you want it to look like? But if you were the head, then how could she shut it down so quickly? So you mean to tell me there was no other conversation? You mean to tell me you never brought it up to Meri? You mean to tell me you didn't sit and pray about it or meditate on it, whatever you do to get you grounded and centered? You didn't do any of those things. Christine, according to you, Sir Kody, had a fit, and you just said, well, fine, you're not going to do it. I find that hard to believe. I find that hard to believe. It sounds to me that you decided not to go through with it, and now you are blaming Christine. It seems like you and Robyn are blaming Christine for everything that's gone wrong with the family. Just like Robyn, she said, oh, you know what? Before we even get to Robyn, Meri. So Suki asked Meri, did you know that there was a point where Kody thought about reconciling with you? And she's like, no. And Suki says, and Christine shut it down. And Meri's like, no, I'm not aware of this story. So then Suki tells Meri when Kody thought about reconciling.
There was a moment there where he was so open to reconciling with you because he felt that that was the moment that he could put the past away and be with you.
That's interesting that he felt like that.
And Meri says, oh yeah, that was the anniversary last year when she made the Rice Krispie treats. And she said, but it's interesting that he would say that he thought about reconciling because it must not have lasted long, because when I turned my camera off, because remember in that clip, Meri said to him, I've been waiting for you. And Kody said, I'm not coming. And she said, I know. And Meri said when she turned her camera off, she wrapped her arms around him. And she said like he was kind of backing up, and she asked, what would you do if I kissed you right now? And according to Meri, he said, no, don't do that. I don't want that. And she was like, he just was like backing away, like pushing her away.
He was physically aboard and he was backing up. He's like, I can't do that. It makes me feel good that he was considering it, but it didn't last through the evening, I guess.
So, Sir Kody, if you really thought about reconciling, those thoughts it didn't last very long. Perhaps you thought about it and then you said, nope, not really what I want. And then when you did mention it to your wives, if you did, when you mentioned it to your wives and Christine had the response that you say she had, you said, oh, well, see, yeah, it's not going to work. How could you let one wife dictate what you do with another wife? Because you have relationships with these different women. So why does one wife get to dictate your relationship with another wife? And if it was really that toxic, then you all have a family meeting and you all can discuss what's happening in a healthy way. You can discuss what's happening and what the decision is, meaning you decide to leave the toxic relationship. But see, you refuse, Sir Kody, to leave the toxic relationship. Because then if you do, you have to take accountability for the role that you played. And it seems so far, dear viewers, it seems so far that Kody is not taking accountability. He just continues to blame. And I think that's why I was bored with last night's episode. I was bored with the tell-all because you blamed everything on Christine. And I'm sure when they start to delve into what's going on with Janelle, he'll start blaming her for everything as well. So if you wanted to reconcile, if Kody wanted to reconcile with Meri, why didn't he bring it up again? So you mean to tell me he only had that one conversation and then it was shut down? I don't believe that. Something's not right. We're missing something. I don't think that's the full story. I do not think that is the full story. And Meri, oh God, and I said this in the previous video, talking about Meri. And again, I'll put that video somewhere in this description or in this video. But I wonder how happy Meri really is in terms of this whole relationship thing, because she doesn't seem very she doesn't seem happy when she shows up, right? So I guess she had to show up for the tell all, but she doesn't really seem happy. She doesn't really seem present with him. And so she might be happy in other areas of her life outside of them, which is great. But at this point, and I said this before and I'll say it again, at this point, I'm really hoping Meri is just there to get her paycheck and she has moved on emotionally from this family. But I don't think that's where she is just yet. I don't think that's where she is just yet. Oh man. So Kody says that he thought about reconciling with Meri, but Christine shut it down. So he didn't reconcile. I don't fully believe that. And if Christine, now I do think Christine may have had a reaction. I do think she may have had a reaction, but okay. Maybe she had a reaction because she feels like, okay, you're going to work on something with Meri, a wife who you haven't been connected to in a while, but I'm still sitting here and I'm waiting for you to show up and be the husband that I need you to be to me. And it feels like I'm not getting what I need it feels like I'm not getting what I need from you. I do believe there could be some, there may have been some of that going on. Obviously wasn't there, they didn't film it, so I don't know for sure. This is just me speculating. I do believe that Christine may have had some of those thoughts and feelings based off of what we've seen. But again, that's not enough reason for you to not discuss reconciling with another wife, to not discuss that further. So I believe Kody said this. He talked about the destruction of a whole family bond. It's weird that one person can do all of that, that one person can break up this entire family. And I don't think that's true. I think one person leaving can change some things, absolutely. It changes the dynamic, yes. But do I think that it destroys the entire family unit? No. Because from what we've seen, there were already issues with this family unit before Christine left. So again, why are you blaming her for the destruction of the family? Also, Sir Kody, if you are the head of the household, as you love to say, how could this one wife destroy it all? What happened to you stepping up to try and work on and mend the relationships with the people who are still a part of this unit? But also, what happened to you doing that before this one wife left, Christine, before Christine left? Why didn't you do that? Also, Sir Kody said that if he had truly been the head of the family, if he had implemented patriarchy much sooner, then perhaps, Christine would not have. Sir Kody said something to the effect of, if he had truly like implemented patriarchy and been the head of his family, then perhaps Christine wouldn't have left and they wouldn't have had so many problems because of the 19. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear what I'm hearing? It's amazing to me that he loves to talk about loyalty and accountability and respect, but I don't see him dishing that out enough. I don't see him dishing that out enough. Then he said that the only thing he's afraid of is poverty. And he said, and I mean it, the only thing I'm afraid of is poverty. Okay, okay. But is it really the only thing? Because if that's the only thing you're afraid of, then you're not afraid of losing your family. You're not afraid of having poor relationships with your children. You're not afraid of having poor relationships with your other wives. Like, you're not afraid of the consequences to not respecting other people. Like, what, sir? No. No, 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 no. Not here for that at all. As a teaser for part two, I assume it's gonna be in part two. Kody says love doesn't matter to him. Respect matters to him. Well, Kody, you want respect from your wives and they're asking for love. And I would imagine you might feel more respected if you showed them love and showed them respect and you gave them loyalty. But it doesn't seem that that's the case. And everything about Kody is always how other people need to change in order to satisfy his needs. Robyn is defending how Kody felt about Christine. And she says, well, because Suki is asking Robyn essentially about Christine leaving, and well, what would you have done? And Robyn is like, oh, I would have went to therapy. We would have marched in that therapist's office so fast. And Suki said, well, what about when your husband tells you he's not attracted to you? Can you force him to change that? And she goes, well, no, I guess you can't. She said Robyn said when he's upset with a wife, when he's really struggling, and then that wife turns a new leaf and she's being supportive, he just melts. So the wife needs to do all the changing. The wife needs to bend to his will. The wife needs to give in. The wife needs to always compromise. Like, the wife is always the problem. The wife is always to blame. That's what I heard. And if that's the case, then he just melts. And then he's like, what did she say? She said something like, oh, he thinks like she created the moon, something like that, some expression she used. So after the wife does all of this, then can they get a little respect from Kody? So at this point, will they even get love? I don't know, because love doesn't seem to be important to Kody, which is interesting. A man with 4 wives and 18 children, and love isn't important to you? But respect is, and I understand that, right? We want to be respected. But in order to be respected, you have to give respect. You have to show up for them the way you want them to show up for you. You match their energy. But it feels like they need to go above and beyond for Kody, and he can just do the minimum. I guess maybe for him it's like, well, I'm going to provide and that's my job. Perhaps, I don't know. But most of the wives work or have businesses. So they're all contributing. Maybe all except for one. That's what word on the street is, but I don't know. But they contribute. Robyn also said, ugh, and I try my best to be as, I try not to be as judgmental. Robyn also said that when Christine said she was leaving, she took a really big dream away from me. She took that away. And she described them growing older and sitting in their rocking chairs with their grandchildren, and Christine took this dream away. Again, Robyn, where is the compassion and the empathy for Christine? Why did she leave? You want Christine to fight for something that the other person wasn't even willing to fight for. She wasn't being treated the way she wanted to be treated. Why does she have to stay? For your dream? So what about her dream? What about the dream she has for her life? The selfishness with Kody and Robyn is just, oh my goodness, I can't even take it anymore. It took everything in me to even finish the episode because I was so over it. I'm just being honest. They come off as very selfish based off of what we see and hear, very selfish. And I'm just over it. I'm over it. I'm over them. At this point, Kody just needs to be honest. He needs to be honest with his family. He needs to be honest with his wives, with the viewers. He needs to be honest and admit that he no longer is interested in plural marriage. According to Janelle, Kody told her last year that plural marriage was getting in the way of his personal progress. That has to be a lot to take in as a wife. And so it's like, well, what do you want? And granted, it could be true, right? That it's stopping him from growing in a way that he wants to grow. But sir, this is a decision you made. And if it no longer works for you, if this arrangement no longer works, then you need to say that to the people involved. You need to tell your wives this. Don't just string them along, but see accountability. He does not want to be blamed. He doesn't want to be blamed for the destruction of the family. It's better if the other people can be blamed. It's better if the wives can be blamed because then he looks better. Well, see, they hurt me. They left me. They treated me this way because everything's about him. Me, 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 me. So selfish. So selfish. And I've been so hesitant this entire season to not mention the narcissistic traits I see, but listen, I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. See some of these traits, and it's not okay. It's not okay to treat people this way. So essentially, those were the things that stood out to me regarding the tell all. We can talk a little bit about Meri and Christine. Apparently, it sounds like they both felt betrayed by each other. Um, and Christine, she ended their friendship because she said that she couldn't trust Meri, that Meri was, like embarrassing her in public and in front of her family. And she's like, you can do this to me, but only for so long. And so she decided to end the friendship with Meri. And she said that she and Meri, they tried a little bit during their time in Vegas, but it never materialized into anything full of substance, really. And so perhaps that's also one of the reasons why Meri is so loyal, dare I say, to Kody and to Robyn, because she also felt perhaps abandoned by Christine. But how can you feel abandoned when you played a part in it? And I love when Suki asked her, well, what happened between you and Christine? And Mary's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And Suki says, well, you know what you did.
At some point, something fractured. There was a lot of hurt between the two of you where you both went to each other's corners and never came back.
Right.
Why?
I don't know exactly what the deal is.
You know what you did.
Well, I mean, I have not always been the perfect person or the perfect wife or the perfect sister wife. It just kind of comes down to, like, we're just not safe with each other. And I don't think there was one thing. Like, it was over time.
Safe with each other because you don't trust each other?
Probably. Probably, yeah.
This family needs a lot of work. They need a lot of work. And it starts with being truthful. It starts with being honest. And if Kody is the head of the household, then let's start with Kody. Kody, be honest and tell these women what you really want. Tell these women if you really want to be with any of them. And with Meri, let her go. Tell her. I mean, at this point, they are done, but also you need to let her know that there's no room to reconcile. Don't have her secretly hoping. Just be straightforward with her. Be straight up with this woman and let her know that that's not going to happen. Don't string her along, but perhaps he's stringing her along because he wants the ducats. He wants some money. Because here's what I was thinking the entire time watching this episode. Well, if Janelle left, what's going on with Coyote Pass? Will Janelle move to Coyote Pass? That's what I want to know. So I'm hoping that they talk a little bit about the property in part 2 or part 3, but hopefully part 2, so that we know what's going on with Coyote Pass. Because if Janelle and Kody are separated, then what does that mean about the property? Christine said she didn't want it. Oh, this was another thing that was interesting. Nobody had a clear idea on divorce when it came to plural marriage because they're not legally married. Well, the only one he is legally married to is, of course, Robyn. But for the others, they were like, well, when does divorce happen? And Robyn said, well, Christine would have to be with another man. And Janelle, I just really, I appreciate Janelle. Janelle was like, how can we hold her to a standard that she doesn't even, we're going to hold her to this religious standard that she doesn't even believe in anymore. Like, she doesn't follow this faith. So how can you tell her, well, this is when it's over? She has to go talk to the leaders of the church. And she's like, why? Christine doesn't even follow the faith. Like, why? She's stepped away. So why would we even hold her to do that? if Christine says she's married, then she's married. And they show a flashback, right, of Meri this season saying, well, if Christine can just say that she's done, then what does that mean for Kody and I? Yes, Meri, duh. That means y'all not together because this man does not want you because you don't have that kind of relationship. And I highly doubt you all are going to reconcile. If you reconcile, it will be for the sake of the show. Because he said it over and over and over again. And I wonder what that has to feel like for Meri this season, to watch the show, to hear episodes like this one, where your husband of 30-something years has said repeatedly that he does not want to be with you in that way. Whew. I wonder how she feels. I wonder how she's been dealing with that, because that's a lot to take in. That's a lot to take in. Listen, let me know what your thoughts were regarding this tell-all part 1. Did anything stand out to you? Maybe there was something I missed, but you didn't. So let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. Remember, we are on our way to 200 subscribers. Oh my goodness, our community is growing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And as a gift, I want to give away my 21 days of gratitude journal to one of you. So when we reach 200 subscribers, I'll create a post and I'll let you know how you can be entered to win one of these journals. So let's get to 200. Let's get to 200. That's all I got. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you for being here. Come on back for the next one. But until then, bye for now.